Now, Hwangsin by no means is bad in PvP. Let's read off some of the names that he's beaten. He's beaten Killer, also Songho from Team Complexity. Beaten Feast. He's taken games off of Oz and even beaten Inca in a series. Now, Inca is like one of these guys people said PvP is the only reason why he got into the GSL finals in the first place.
Yeah, he's talking about the Korean Inca, not the foreign Inca.
No. Yeah, not Kelby.
INCA.
Yeah, INCA. That Inca. He's and he's taking games off of Hero also back in NASL. So he's capable of winning PvPs. Yeah. TT1 just straight up out-microed him in that spot. Now, whatever reason Hwangsin may have, he can clear it out of his head. It's Tal'Darim, game number 2, and it's Tal'Darim Alter. What does Tal'Darim Alter host in PvP, Andre?
I think it's a lot of one-gate expansions. One-gate expansions, Forge Fast expansions, yeah, Nexus first, things like that. Really non-aggressive builds, just because Tal'Darim Alter isn't too good for 4-gate.
It fosters a really defensive mindset just because there's no ramp between the main and natural.
Yeah, just to let you know, it is opposite day. Well, at least it's opposite 1 minute.
Wait, but if you say it's opposite day, then
please don't go into that.
It's not.
It was opposite day for a minute. Boom, headshot.
But then if you say for only a minute, did you?
I said it was.
There's a fantastic video called Opposite Day where they actually do the entire thing, and it's impressive because they shoot it for 2 minutes without cuts. So it's like all of it was completely well scripted, and they said everything backwards. And if you don't, just go search YouTube on Opposite Day. But after NASL broadcast, of course, because we're still in the middle of this PvP.
Absolutely.
Let's introduce our players, Andre.
Bottom left-hand corner, we have Gosu Hwangsin as the red Protoss. He's in cross positions to his opponent, MTW TT1. The blue Protoss in the top right-hand position. They're basically doing the same builds. Hwangsin obviously getting a slightly faster cyber core, so I shouldn't say basically the same builds because it's very different. Second assimilator goes down for Hwangsin as well.
Yes.
And look at this Hwangsin, you little hacker, you.
Oh, he's going straight across.
He's going straight across.
Yeah. Guys, this series was supposed to be played live, but we will be transparent. This is from replay. But the big thing is that this was, played like, I don't know, like an hour ago. This is as fresh could be.
Oh, yeah. This is like we just sliced the meat off.
Yeah, this is fresher than Soup Plantation and Subway combined.
It's fresher than Asahi Sushi, which is very fresh sushi.
Which we will get on Sunday.
Yes, we will.
When we go together. But we do see that TT1 finally discovers his opponent's scouting. Now, Hwangsin does place a second assimilator, again, stealing the gas, which a lot of people feel like that's an incentive to put on aggression because they don't have much room to tech. And as a result, they have a lot more room to just be more aggressive. But like you said, also, there's also expansion possibilities. But on Tal'Darim Alter, isn't that asking for suicide?
Well, it's 75 minerals. And I guess you're saying the travel distance is going to cover that a little bit. Also, Hwangsin is doing a pretty defensive build. I do want to mention that. He only has 4 probes on gas. So what he's looking to do is just get the slight lead in the stalker count. And he knows his opponent is on 3 probes for gas. So he has that extra 40 gas per minute that allows him to obviously get just that extra 1 stalker. So it's that trade. I'm going to get an extra stalker over you, and you're going to have a couple of minerals over me. It's literally just a trade of resources.
TT1 doing the staple build on Tal'Darim Alter if you want to be defensive, going 3 stalker into 4 gate. And of course, that gives you some flexibility in terms of if you want to be aggressive or defensive. Hwangsin being very diligent with his stalker. Look at him trying to scout, but unfortunately, he's going to run into the cliff and not see TT1's pylon. As you can see, Hwangsin, finishing up his 3 gates. Now, again, he does have 2 gases. What will he utilize his gases for beyond the first warp in?
Oh, look at that. The proxy pylon is shown over here. TT1 unfortunately spotted out, and that's a pretty tough position to be in. Now, I love what Hwangsin is doing. He's not showing his other stalkers. He will bait the 3 stalkers to come up here. They feel so confident, but it's a trap.
Oh, TT1 was completely... Actually, yeah, he was completely surprised by that. Loses 1 stalker, very significant. It's 8 stalkers to 6 all of a sudden. So Hwangsin using an MC style of 3 stalker defense with 3 gateways, and it's really, really cool. Watching Hwangsin defend. Now the trick is to really balance it with Zealous now into the mix. Hwangsin needs to kite back. Now what's tough is that there's no ramps. You can't necessarily surround their opponents and get a concave in that sense. Ooh. But nonetheless, you can capitalize on the fact that there's a tight area.
Zealots are not in position right here.
Yeah,
this might be a little bit difficult. The Stalker count does go to Hwangsin. He's doing a good job. Ooh, taking off that pylon, or excuse me, the probe.
That probe is really big. Can't
Yes, it
warp
is.
in the base. And I think Hwangsin has a pretty big advantage at this point because his Stalker count is only getting higher. 13-8 is so significant because Stalker's mobility is so strong at this stage.
There's also a proxy pylon in the top right-hand corner for Hwangsin. That's going to help out so much. He's supply capped right now, but it's all going to come down to micro. Let's see how good Hwangsin is this time around.
All right, well, he's going to kite back very well thus far. He needs a little bit of Zealots to just tank, at least to pressure the Stalkers off of his own Stalkers. Ooh. And you can see at this point, Hwangsin does have the Stalker advantage still very decisively, 9-6, now 9-5. And all of a sudden, the Zealots also stay alive, so Hwangsin with a pretty strong defense. And TT1 looking pretty feeble despite him having 4 gates to only 3.
And there's the warping in the top right-hand corner. 3 Zealots are inbound into TT1's main.
Oh, man.
Obviously, TT1 can't do anything about this. He's crushed right here. 3 Zealots are going to warp in at the worst time possible as these 3 Zealots in the top right-hand corner will start going away at those probes. If he doesn't win right here, he's dead. And let me tell you, you can't do that with less Stalkers in your supply.
And the Zealots do get some free shots, but the Stalker advantage is way too big, and the snowballing kind of control. Hwangsin's two-shotting them. GG! Hwangsin ties up the series on Tal'Darim Altar with a very well-executed 3-Stalker, 3-gate defense. And I am very impressed by Hwangsin. That was, like, that's a build that says, I'm just going to outplay you, because on Tal'Darim Altar, you're always tempted to 4-gate.
Exactly. Well, a couple things helped out. TT1 was doing a build that you sort of need to be a little bit closer to your opponents for. You can see that straggling Zealot wasn't able to actually engage when the first Stalkers engaged. Also, losing the first Stalker was really tough for him. So it compounds on itself. It's a really difficult situation. It gives Hwangsin the ability to use these warp-ins to actually be aggressive rather than being defensive the entire time. Along with the extra gas that he was getting, he was able to get an extra Stalker every minute. And I think it was around 2 minutes I was counting that 2 minutes that he had the 4 probes over his opponent's 3 probes. That does equal just around 2 Stalkers, and it showed in the first engagement, which gave him the very decisive win.
Yep. And so TT1's cast count could not keep up as he does drop game number 2. Yep. We want to thank our sponsors over at Twitch.tv for providing everything for the stream, as well as a subscriber pass, which you guys should pick up during this break. We'll be back with game number 3, a decisive match between TT1 and Hwangsin. Both players really want this win in terms of jostling for playoff picture or just moving up in division. Find out who takes it after this.